The purpose of the Exceptional Family Member Program is really to ensure that active duty members with an exceptional family member are not sent to an installation where there are not the service available to support their family's needs.
In this leadership blog, we discuss the Exceptional Family Member Program and how related resources can be accessed across the Air Force Lifecycle Management Center and the larger Air Force.
What should family members who feel overwhelmed by the process, where should they begin?
We've all have students or kiddos of our own that have gone through the EFMP process, and we've kind of been there. We've walked in these shoes. We've done the process of moving from base to base, finding the resources you need each time. So it does help that you've got folks that have been through the process.
Let's say that you're out in Colorado somewhere and you're a ways away from the unit that supports you. Feel free to reach out, and I'm happy to try to make those connections for you.
Hi, it's Brian Brackens with the Air Force Lifecycle Management Center's Public Affairs Office. We recently spoke with experts about the Exceptional Family Member Program. While the guests were based at Wright-Patterson Air Force Base, Ohio, EFMP is a resource available to service members and their families across the center. To find related resources across Department of Defense installations, use the link on the screen. Links to resources will also be part of the article about this podcast.
Thanks so much for being here today. Certainly looking forward to our discussion about this very important topic. So if you don't mind, if you can start by giving us an overview of what the Exceptional Family Member Program is.
Yeah, so the purpose of the Exceptional Family Member Program is really to ensure that active duty members with an exceptional family member are not sent to an installation where there are not the service available to support their family's needs. So there are actually three parts to the Exceptional Family Member Program. So we have EFMP Medical, we have assignments, and then we have My Office, which is EFMP Family Support. And so typically, so once a family has a diagnosis, and this could be a medical diagnosis or an educational diagnosis, so it might be a medical need that needs ongoing specialist support for a particular, disability or illness. Or it could be a child who is on an IEP at school, has been identified with having either some learning disabilities, or they, might need for the younger children, some early intervention. And so a family can become enrolled in the Exceptional Family Member Program once they know that their child has a diagnosis. But typically, a family tends to get identified when they have an assignment and they go through the travel screening process. And at that point, they are enrolled by EFMP Medical. Assignment steps in and reviews the information and finds a place that is suitable for their EFM, their exceptional family member, to go to. And then at any time during this process, My Office, EFMP Family Support, can support the family by helping them connect with any services or resources or agencies that they might need to help them sort of navigate this whole thing that they have going on in their lives, and to support their family member to the best of their ability. We also do warm handoffs to their next installation. So that ensures that they get a little bit of a head start in finding all the right services and being connected with all the agencies that they might need in that particular area.
Okay. So Ma'am, I've heard you mention support and services. Can you provide a couple of examples of what that support or services looks like? Anything specific?
Yeah, so from our point of view, we can let them know sort of all the offices on the installations, like specific contact information that they might need. Some families are a little bit confused between EFMP Medical and EFMP Family Support. And so, we can provide that information and some clarification and let them know, okay, we need to go here. But we can also connect them with, we have EFMP Me, which is a website where they can get specific information. We have MyFamilyVector, so we can direct them towards that. That has very specific information about what other installations might offer. But then we also connect with the services and agencies in the community too. So what isn't available on base, we try to find out there in the community.
Is EFMP available to both military and civilians? Like how does it work?
Yeah, so exceptional family member family support, which is my office, we will definitely step in and help absolutely anybody who needs help, because we're sharing resources with people and information. So yes, we do personally support both active duty families and installation civilians and retired personnel as well.
Anyone else want to add to that?
We do have several resources and folks that you can connect with on our base. There is a school liaison office that you can go to and get direct assistance for school, IEPs, 504s, moving from one school to another. You can also get resources for childcare through our community childcare coordinators and our family childcare program, where they can assist with subsidy for childcare, and then finding them any kind of resources they might need, just in the local community that will support their student or child. If it's ABA therapy, if it's mental health support, that's kind of what we're here for, is to just bridge that gap and find the resources they need.
So everyone here is based at Wright-Patt. I know Wright-Patt is one of the larger locations for EFMP. Can anyone speak to that?
Yeah, so we actually have quite a few. Melinda can probably give you a better idea of the number of families that we actually have assigned here.
Yeah, so typically, and this is just active duty families. It ranges between 900 to 1,000 families who are enrolled in EFMP.
Is the program typically that large, like just across the country?
So it depends on the area. So we find that Wright-Patterson is probably one of the largest ones due to the resources that are available. We have a large medical center here on base, but we also have a wide range of very high quality hospitals within the area.
AFLCMC has locations across the country. How do folks, at the locations outside of Wright-Patt, how do they find support?
If I could jump in, one of the areas would be their particular location, but I'm happy to have anyone from LCMC just reach out to me. We started doing tele-chaplain connections around the COVID time, and so those are opportunities to reach out to myself as the LCMC chaplain to be able to help you navigate and connect you with some of the resources that are here. So let's say that you're out in Colorado somewhere, and maybe you're a ways away from the FSS, the unit that supports you. Feel free to reach out, and I'm happy to try to make those connections for you. I'm also happy to have do any type of over Teams chat with you or your family members to be able to make sure that you have the care that you need.
And can you talk a bit about how folks can access telechat?
So one of the things is reach out to me on joshua.payne@us.af.mil. And so if you reach out to me, I will set up a Teams call with you. If you need something other than Teams call, if you're at a place where you don't have access to Teams, again, just shoot me an email and I will follow up with another platform that we can use to start that conversation. And again, those are ways that we can provide care with some of these new the technologies that we're using, that we've gotten used to using. We can use that to provide care as well.
Trina and Melinda, would you all be able to just speak a little bit about how service and family members can access some of these resources?
So we have quite a few different things that we can offer. So even just reaching out to one of our offices, you can reach out to the Exceptional Family Member Program office. You can reach out to School Liaison's office. You can reach out to, basically our family child care or community child care coordinators. Any one of those offices are great locations to start, but there is quite a few resources here in the local region and area. The state of Ohio itself has actually developed scholarships, one being the Autism Scholarship and another being the John Peterson Scholarship, where they can actually go on the Ohio Department of Education website, learn about what resources are out there, and then utilize those as a way to help their family member get the resources and aid that they might need in the area. And if they're not even sure where to go to get that information, that's where we kind of step in and we can be that's right alongside you, help you through the process person that they can just reach out to and get a warm handoff.
Yeah, and there's a lot of resources available on Military OneSource. EFMP Me is one website that is actually connected to Military OneSource, but there's also MyFamilyVector, which has a lot of information specifically about installations and what's available at those installations. We also have different websites that offer parent training that we can direct families towards, that's available to them. And one of the greatest resources that we have found is that each state has what we call a PTI, which is a parent training and information service. Here in Ohio, it is called the Coalition for the Education of Children with Disabilities. But every state has one. So when we're talking about connecting with geographically separated units, we've had a lot of success interacting with our PTI and getting information about other state PTIs that we can connect families with.
What should family members who feel overwhelmed by the process, where should they begin?
So for my family, when we started with EFMP, it was really initiated by our medical care team. So with my daughter suffering from severe anxiety and PTSD from a trauma sustained overseas, we were really ushered in by our medical care team. And I think just starting there is a really good starting point because they already know who you need to contact. And that was just really beneficial and helpful for us.
Myself, Melinda, and I think Chaplain Pay there, is we've all have students or kiddos of our own that have gone through the EFMP process, and we've kind of been there. We've walked in these shoes. We've done the process of moving from base to base, finding the resources you need each time. So it does help that you've got folks that have been through the process and understand a little bit about what the frustrations are, I think, and just help you navigate it a little easier so that maybe you're not so overwhelmed.
Would say is that the process has become a lot easier to get care. I know my 21-year-old, my youngest son, he's been in the EFMP program since he was 5 for a medical situation, and so early on, it was very difficult to, because as soon as you get that EFMP notice, whatever assignment that you might have all of a sudden might not be there. And so, because of the limitations. And so sometimes families are hesitant to want to reach out and say, hey, we need help. And so it's important for families to say it's not really about an assignment. It's about during this Air Force journey, what do our families need, so that way that our families are still with us when we are preparing to retire or other things. We want to make sure that they get the help that they need. And so I'm really proud of how things have changed over the time. And a couple places we've been sent to didn't have the right type of care for my son. So that was a challenge. And so then you start jumping through hoops. And so it's really exciting to see what Melinda, what Trina, what our entire support team here at Wright-Patt is providing, not just for our 88th Air Base Wing teammates, but for LCMC and beyond, because it doesn't have to be this consolation prize that, you get an assignment to Wright-Patt. No, you get an assignment to come to Wright-Patterson Air Force Base. And we've got an amazing support system that's surrounding you and your family to make this an amazing season for you, not just I didn't get whatever I wanted. No, you got exactly where you need to be, because we're going to take good care of you.
Yeah, definitely. As an Air Force spouse, I can really talk on that, because one of my children received a diagnosis while we were overseas. And it was such a challenge to connect him with the services that he needed. They were there, but it wasn't an easy journey. It wasn't an easy situation. There was a language barrier. And so when we got stationed at Wright-Patterson, and we were literally 5 minutes away from Dayton Children's Hospital, I mean, it just really changed our lives.
Yeah. Awesome. So really great point. So I want to pivot back. Ma'am, can you talk a bit about how EFMP has helped your family?
Well, just being able to find the resources more quickly and effectively has been a godsend, really. Overseas, Melinda touched on, it's a lot harder to find the things that you need over there. There's a lot more hoops to jump through, and there isn't really a built-in community of people to help you. And here, specifically at Wright-Patt, there are a ton of people ready and available to help you and connect you with the resources and the physicians that you need to help your child.
Can folks, if you can share just some stories about, or examples of ways you've been able to help people in your current job, working for or working with the EFMP program?
So I will say one of the great things we get to do, obviously, is assist families in their school journey, right? So we did have a family that we had worked with. They had just moved here to Wright-Patterson. Their student was about ready to transition out of high school and into an adult type program. They arrived here a month before his birthday, where he would be aging out of the program at the school. And so Melinda and I worked together with that family to help them bridge the gap and find the adult services necessary so that child could just easily transition from coming here to Wright-Patt and into an adult services rehabilitation type program. We have several in the local region. They particularly chose the United Rehabilitation Service Center, which seemed to be a very good fit for them. The school district worked really hard with them to bridge the gap and make that transition easy for their child. So that was it's really great when you see those things happen, because you realize that as a team and as a community, we came together and we worked to make that an easy fix for that family as they're moving into a new season of life. So that's basically one of them I will share. I know Melinda's probably got some too she'd like to share as well.
Well, the nice thing about, once you help one family, the chances are that just around the corner, there's going to be another family that has a very similar issue. So once you've researched all those things for one family, it also benefits someone else. And I was in a similar situation recently. a parent reached out to me who had a young teenager with an autism diagnosis. And they just happened to be in a school district where we didn't have MFLACs, military family life counselors, embedded in that school district, but I was able to refer the family to one of our adult MFLACs. But when I did that, the adult MFLAC had mentioned to me that, they were looking for counselors who, specifically worked with children and young adults with autism. And so I was able to give her a few names of some local businesses that, with counseling services. And she reached out to them, and strangely, the parent that I had referred to her contacted her shortly after one of the counseling services did. And so several families were benefited by, that one brief conversation, which was very exciting. And a similar thing happened to me recently as I was talking about the PTIs in each of the different states. I had researched that and was able to connect one family, and less than a week later I had another family in Indiana who was reaching out for me with wanting some very similar information. And so, it's just I always tell people, we gather as many resources as possible, because you just never really know what the next question is going to be and who will benefit from it, and how many families will benefit from it.
So just, along that topic of ways where you all are helping people, I know you all host a number of events in the community for families. Can you talk a bit about recent events that you all have hosted, and perhaps any upcoming events that you all plan to do for our EFMP families?
Yeah, so we personally have quarterly family nights at the USO in the evening, and we invite other agencies. These are not big events, they're not huge, but we have other agencies that bring things. Blue Star Families always provide snacks, water. I mean, Blue Star Families are so supportive and one of our community partners. But we usually have a different theme, and these get-togethers are specifically for EFMP families. Now, recently, I was able to invite many base agencies, helping agencies, both base and community agencies, to attend a big resource fair that was at the Chapel Community Center in the Prairies. And that was extremely well attended. And we're hoping to do something similar to that in December too. A big information fair that's basically open to the whole installation community, because these are agencies. I always feel that you never really know what you need until you speak to these agencies and find out what they offer, and then you realize, oh, that would be really helpful for me and my family. And so it's very important to bring those agencies to the families, to make it a little bit easier to connect. And once you reach out to a few agencies, they start passing the word, because a lot of these community agencies really want to connect with Wright-Patt families.
Yeah.
And I would add that one thing that Terry can speak briefly about our Dusty Britches event, and then I'll mention some things that we'll have from the chapel in this new fiscal year.
Yeah, so as a chapel, we got to come alongside the EFMP program and host a equine horsemanship class with the Dusty Britches equestrian program. It was really incredible to see these kids and families come out and all participate and learn something new, maybe grow in confidence and find a new passion. It was something that was really fun to set up. and something I look forward to hopefully doing again with these families.
And we're working with contracting right now to put together some things for this year, and we're looking at doing a quarterly special EFMP family event that we will once we line up that with our contracting office. Then I'm going to reach out to Melinda to start setting up dates to be able to offer additional type of resources. But that's going to be our focus this year for some of our family resiliency events.
Yeah,
Awesome.
that would be, our families were just so appreciative and very excited for the opportunity.
That was a really great discussion. I truly enjoyed talking to everybody. Again, I really, really appreciate your time. Thank you.
But
Thank you for your time.
thank you for inviting us.